Oh yes, folks, it's the WC here with a brand new video, man. This time I'm going to be talking about the fight taking place on September the 13th, live on pay-per-view. Mayweather, Maidana 2, live, Showtime, pay-per-view. In this video, man, I'm basically going to be giving y'all the breakdown on this fight. You know what I'm saying? The tail of the tape, who has the advantage in the fight, going through all the credentials, all the advantages that both of these fighters have or might not have, all the intangibles, all those things, man. But first, before I get into all that, I want to, speak on the controversy that surrounded Floyd Mayweather once again. All right. Now, Floyd is talking about retiring in 2015 after he, finishes off his 6-fight commitment, which is understandable. You know what I'm saying? 36, 37, maybe 38 years old. Going into retirement is not necessarily a bad thing, but Floyd has played this song and dance before. I mean, he's done this song and dance before. Oh yeah, let me retire and then come back, and he feels as though he has no competition, and at this point he's the best in the world. I mean, I don't think that he really does have any competition, but if he retires, then amen to him. But as far as the controversy with his comments about the NFL overreacting on the Ray Rice comments, or not the comments, but the punishment. It's one of those situations where I'm looking at this situation. I'm like, Floyd Mayweather has went to jail for domestic violence. No contest. He pleaded no contest. He went straight to jail, which basically means that yes, he did it. And I'm not saying that he was proud of doing it, but it is what it is. And, I have different views on it. I'm not going to say that my views mirror Floyd's. It doesn't mirror Floyd's, but it's somewhere in the neighborhood of that. But it's definitely not that. It's not saying, okay, oh, well, they overreacted for him hitting a woman. At the end of the day, man, let's just count to 3. On the count of 3, everybody keep your hands to yourself. 1, 2, 3. All right? You don't touch me, I don't touch you. Nobody touches each other. Don't nobody get hit. Don't nobody get hurt. I mean, domestic violence is one of those things where, to a certain extent, yes, he is right. It goes on every day, basically. And some of the stuff doesn't get recorded. But at the end of the day, man shouldn't hit women. Women shouldn't hit men. At the end of the day, that's basically what it is. You know what I'm saying? And, Floyd is coming under a little bit of heat for his comments about, the NFL basically overreacting, and then he brings up OJ and then other situations about, dead people and all this. I don't know. It's just one of those situations where it's a slippery slope, and, Floyd doesn't have anybody. He doesn't have a Roger Goodell over him. He doesn't have a commissioner or anything, policing it. Maybe his promoters might get in his ear and say, all right, well, maybe you need to shut the hell up about this. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a promoter can say that, but nobody has any kind of control over Floyd, so he could just basically say whatever he wants to say and basically get away with it because of the fact that he's a talented boxer. But it's just, it's just one of those situations where it seems like, wherever this guy goes, controversy is basically going to follow. And maybe the box office will be out of this park for this fight versus Maidana because of the first fight, and more so because of the first fight, and Maidana putting up such of a good performance against Floyd, and we haven't seen too many people, check Floyd like Maidana was basically able to. But we're basically going to see how all that pans out. Now it's about 4 or 5 minutes to the video, so let me go ahead and get into the stuff that y'all probably came to this video for, the tail of the tape. So let's go to the tail of the tape. As I mentioned before, Floyd is 37 years old. Maidana is 31. So Floyd's got the age advantage, he's got the advantage. So when we go to weight, 147, that's even. Floyd is taller by an inch. He's 5'8". Maidana is 5'7". Surprisingly, Floyd's reach is a little bit longer than Maidana's. He's at 72 inches, and Maidana's at 79 inches. They both have orthodox stances, and both of them have very, very impressive records. Maidana comes in at 35-4 with 31 TKOs, and Floyd comes in at 46-0. no losses, and about, half of his fights is about knockout. So he's knocked out at least half of his opponents in his 46 professional fights. So just looking at the tails of the tape, both of these guys come in a little bit even. The reach is a little bit of a, it is what it is. Reach is, hey. But yeah, man, let's go to, things that's going to make up this fight, man. We'll just go to this stuff so people can understand the full breakdown of this whole video right here. Let me just go ahead and get into it. Now, as far as like power goes, I'm going to go with Maidana. I'm looking at Maidana and I'm saying that this guy has bigger punching power. He cut Floyd for the first time in Floyd's career, I think. And that's a big accomplishment for you to get cut. That's probably why he's talking about retirement, because he don't want to get cut up no more. But look, I've never been cut in a fight. You know what I'm saying? I've been in a couple fights my year, during my years. But, you get cut by a man. It's like, wow, But, the power advantage goes to Maidana. I think that he, is definitely going to have that in his form, in his corner. Let's go to form. Now, I'm looking at form, and I say that Floyd definitely has the form. He says that he has that down. This guy's a technical boxer, a showman. He has all those things. Floyd has a lot of things in his favor when he comes into this fight. He's going to be, if you're going to bet against Floyd, you have to have some kind of base to basically base that off. If you're gonna bet up against this guy, you can't bet against, his quickness, his form, his technique. He has the advantage in the technique department too. I mean, Floyd is just one of those guys that, he could throw about 6-7 punches in a blink of an eye, But the thing that makes Floyd such of a great fighter is the fact that he's such of a defensive problem. You know what I'm saying? He's like, making a football reference, he's like, the Super Bowl teams, like, the Chicago Bears at 85. People talk about them all the time. He's just got that defense that turns into offense. You know what I'm saying? He has the, the stamina, the versatility. He's had all those things in his favor. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's able to adjust on the run, adjust to his fighters mid-fight. And, as much as I talk about, Floyd not doing the things that a traditional boxer does, I think that, him and his, his trainer, Roger Mayweather, about to call him Roger Floyd, Roger Mayweather has got to be the best in the business. I mean, as far as it goes, is adjusting on the run and seeing what somebody's doing during the fight and telling Floyd to basically adjust and work the fight this way. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be one of the best in the game right now. As far as, like I said, versatility, stamina, things like consistency, all those things, speed, are all in the favor of Floyd. So anybody that's betting against Floyd in this fight, you just have to, think to yourself, can Maidana outlast, or can he keep up for a full 12 rounds with Floyd Mayweather? He did the last time. All right. He thinks that he did the last time. I think that, everything goes in Floyd's, in Floyd's advantage, man, from durability to tenacity to stamina. Everything is on Floyd's side. The place where Floyd doesn't necessarily have the advantage is the power. And if Maidana can stay up with Floyd, until maybe the 8th, maybe 9th round. I think that those are the rounds, those are the key rounds for Maidana. If he's going to win this fight, he has to last until about the 8th and the 9th round. I think that if he can last that long, he'll have a window. He'll have a small window between the 8th and the 9th round where he can get Floyd off balance. All right. Because Floyd he's shown the tendency in the middle rounds of his career that, he gets a little sloppy during certain parts of the fight. Now, people might not like that, all right? But you probably haven't been watching Floyd Mayweather fights. I've been watching him. I've been studying this guy for a very long time, all right? I know the sport of boxing, all right? There's going to be a small window, if the fight gets that far, for Maidana to display his power, all right? If he can get that far, if he can keep up with Floyd for at least 8 to 9 rounds, he'll have his chance. Now, if he capitalizes on that chance, then hey, somebody that betted on Maidana will be the richest and the smartest man of all time. All right, but if he can't, it's just going to be another Floyd Mayweather decision. I don't think that Floyd Mayweather is going to knock this guy out. I really don't. I don't expect it. I don't expect it to be one of those Ricky Hatton situations, or Ortiz hands down, man's down. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's going to be one of those situations, man. But one thing that Maidana has working in his favor is the fact that he's got the unpredictability factor. Like, we don't know if Maidana's going to sit back and wait for Floyd to come to him, or if he's going to be the aggressor. He's got that into his favor. People don't really necessarily know, all right, what Maidana's going to do on Saturday night. But one thing that I know for sure is that this is going to be a great fight. Let me know how you guys feel down below. It's a WC. Broke it all the way down for you. All right. Broke it all the way down. And don't you know what? Before I leave this video, I want to say that Rafael Garcia, you know what I'm saying? I left him out when I was talking about trainers. He's just as good of a trainer as Roger Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? Very, very accomplished guy. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those situations where I'm looking at these guys and I'm saying that, this is, even though Maidana doesn't have a no, this is a very evenly matched fight. And, this might be a very, very big problem for Floyd. Now, there's other people out there that's expecting for Floyd to walk in this fight. I don't expect for Floyd to walk in this fight. I expect for them to have even more problems with Maidana. That's what I'm expecting for it to happen, because I don't think that he's, went up against a guy that could probably take Floyd's best shot and still come back at him. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that Floyd has ever fought a guy that could take his best shot and still come back at him. I don't think that he's had a guy like that. So if there's any guy that could do is Maidana, who's going to win this fight? I almost left the video without saying who I thought was going to win the fight. Who's going to win this fight? I think that it's going to be Floyd by unanimous decision. I don't think that it's going to be one of those situations where Maidana is going to be able to beat him on the scorecards. That's why I said that 8th to 9th round. If you've been listening this far, you know that I done said it. The 8th and 9th round are the rounds that you guys need to pay attention to when it comes to this whole fight between Mayweather and Maidana. If it gets that far and Maidana's won maybe 2, maybe 3 rounds by the 8th round, I'm telling you, that's going to be the time of the fight where he's going to come the hardest. And if he doesn't come the hardest, it's just going to be another Floyd Mayweather decision. All right. So let me know how you guys feel down below. It's the WC, man. I got the fight music in the background. Y'all love it, man. And until next time, peace out. Hey, if you bet on Maidana, you're gonna be rich after this fight. Because ain't nobody's taking that bet right now.